Alrighty, so I'm gonna keep going. This is part 4 of Honor Your Intuition. Once again, I am tired. So I'm gonna try not to doze off. But I think I mentioned that intuition. I'm sorry, not just intuition. Impulse is something that I have to utilize as a strength rather than a weakness, because procrastination is my weakness, right? I do find myself procrastination mixed with perfection. Those two things will have me literally looking at the screen for a while and saying, nope, it's not clean enough. Nope, it got a crack on it. Nope, I need to, wait until I get such and such and so, and then I gotta save up money for that, and I gotta do this, and I gotta perfect it. I gotta make it so, pristine that it just, because I don't like giving nobody no trash. I don't want nobody giving me trash, and I dang sure don't want nobody giving. I said that already, and I dang sure don't like the idea of giving someone trash. And so for me, it is, about the presentation. I don't, play with that part. However, today I had to force myself. And it's like, girl, you thought you was about to go lay down. You thought you was about to get in that comfortable bed and go do what you do, how you do. And you know what? I had to, I had to obey and honor my intuition that told me, get your behind up, okay? And I, just do it. Just do it, Shani. So I am presenting myself as I am once again. And I am at this point of a drowsy point. Like I am tired to that point, okay? So excuse me if my words are slurring. I do not drink alcohol around my children. So please, go light on the insults if you're going to insult me. Please don't, don't try to make it seem like I'm doing something I'm not. I'm just tired, that's all. All right. And believe me, I have a reason to defend myself in such a way, because somewhere along this story, that same children's father I talked to you about, yeah, he and that somewhat of a so-called sister of mine decided to get together with this group that they then built up against me and lied and said that I was on drugs at one point. Shawnee don't even like taking her darn vitamins when she's supposed to. Okay, I don't even pill pop like I'm supposed to when it's prescription or when it's supplements. Let alone, hello, what kind of drug would I be taking? But they got away with it. Like I said, this group moves seamlessly throughout the world. And man, they got away with a lot of lies, okay? And I tell you, so moving on. Part 4. So yeah, we're picking up where the landlord has already been informed. Now she has crossed the lines. She has breached my personal information. She cares nothing about it. Now she's trying to get out of it. She begins to... Oh, she started telling me about her new friend. Like, she's putting focus on this new friend where they out partying all the time and they doing this and doing that. And I'm sensing that this got something to do with this group, right? I already know you done connected with my children's father. I can see how they do things when they connect to someone that is acquainted with me to build them up against me, or to turn them against me. They have this celebratory way of doing it, right? I have to tell the rest of the story and try not to leave out any details in order for you to understand what I mean by that. But moving on, I want to really stick to what I'm talking about here. So yes, landlord, now she's trying to get out of it. You can't tell me that that's not what's happening. All of a sudden, you've had this building for how many years? You were cool with it for how many years? All of a sudden, she's ready to sell. Wow. So now you get caught. You're ready to sell. Okay. So now, there's this big thing where in order to get her to fix anything, I had to withhold rent. Now, being as though I've come from too many attacks, too many sabotages, too many setbacks, I can't lie, I had no choice but to eventually trust the government and go on low income assistance. Once again, I told the dirty parts, I have no problem, right? No, Shani ain't balling. No, Shani ain't got all the money in the world. No, I'm just going to be as real as possible. This is what happened. These are the connections that I had to get a hold of in order to just survive, right? When you're constantly being sabotaged, constantly being attacked, constantly, I'll explain. I'll explain in more detail. I'm very ashamed. Oh, more than ashamed. But this is part of the story. And so, like I said, I don't mind airing out my own dirty laundry. Rather than having someone else tell my story and completely misconstruing the truth. That's what I don't have time for. So yes, there's the truth. I am not proud of myself. In fact, I cry every time I have to pull out that welfare card, every time I have to, anything low income. I've been on it all. I've been chronically homeless. I have been, this family truly, truly meant to keep me under their feet. Let's just say it for what it is. And I am not the only family member, once again, that they've done this to. But this is how they do it, okay? Every acquaintance in your life will be brought on board against you, okay? Brought on board to be turned against you. So right now we're talking about landlord. This is my former landlord now, right? Landlords now. However, this happened. This is a rinse repeat. Okay, they do the same actions, rinse repeat, because my former landlords, okay, they did the same thing. Okay, I explained that in a little detail on an audio, so I may have some blackout videos because I may not want to explain every little detail all over again, because once again it pulls out a lot of emotion out of me. And it leaves me in a state. Excuse me. It leaves me in a state of, I knew I was going to get to that point. It's like literally like 7 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, so the, what was I saying? Oh, Lord. Leaves you in a state of emotional distress. And when I get to that point, because I don't have any shoulder to cry upon, I don't have any shoulder to lean upon, I have to deal with my emotions alone. And sometimes I can tend to withdraw very easily because of that. At least to recover, at least to, find myself again, to ground, if you will. Yeah. So, moving on, okay, so landlord, okay, she's ready to sell. I knew it was something fishy. The police didn't care. They did not take the report. Yes, I talked to the police. Did they care? No. I'm like, I'm in the prevention point, right? Like, there's no laws for like preventing crime right before it happens, kind of thing. Or if it is, I don't know anything about it. I'm not all the way, excuse me, in that field, or I'm not in that field, so I don't know. I'm talking about all the way. I'm not in that field to even understand how that all works, and I haven't had time to study it. However, I do pick up little tidbits here and there. So I'm not a complete novice. I'm just, not very, exercised in it. That's not the word I was looking for, but yeah, that. I am pulling on strength and words and air and whatever I can to stay awake to do this video. Because like I said, I ain't gonna do it otherwise, probably, like I should. Because I do have things that I have busied my life with to where I have no choice but to push myself to just do it. Whatever I'm looking like, whatever is going on in my life, just do it, right? I'm sure it's gonna be prettier days. I'm gonna, be able to get myself together and everything a little better. But, excuse me. Why my hand looks so big? We could be our worst critic. I am definitely my worst critic, anyways. Yeah, so she starts to sell. She wants to sell. I start noticing that during the time that she's asking me to, fix up the place and have it like model ready. Like she wants my home to look, picture ready. I'm tired. I have children. It's taking me a little while to get it all together. So she begins to threaten me. She's trying to find every little reason to kick me out. And I'm like, she's never done that before. She's never even been bold enough to do something like that, right? Mind you, she's the one that used to come over and act like we were buddy and friend, right? So like you getting a little bold, you getting a little interesting, you know what I mean? Like, I find that to be interesting. All right. Your sudden change of attitude with me. And, yeah, so she's, oh, I'm a kick if you don't do this like I needed, like I wanted. It better look like it's. You talking to me, sweetheart? Are you talking to me, love? Are you sure? So I gave her a thorough understanding of how I felt in return. Hey, you must have forgot, love. You left bloody furniture in the back of my home. You must have forgot, love. You left bloody carpet in my home. Wait a minute. You must have forgot, love. You didn't tell me that someone was murdered with an M on my property before you sold it. Hold on, sweetheart. We're not done yet, okay? You're threatening to kick me out. Wait a minute. Hold on. You must have forgot that repairs needed to be made. And it took you about 10 months to get it done. Hold on, sweetheart. I'm not done yet, sweetheart. You must have forgot how many times I've had to reach out to you to do simple things. You must have forgot I just paid you my portion of the rent. You must have forgot. And since you forgot, oh, wait a minute, I'm not done yet. Because they would come in my home and completely violate, okay? I had my table all fixed up, okay? I'm talking about when I say I like to set a table, I like to set it, you know what I mean? All the colors coordinated and a nice little centerpiece and the plates and the, and the saucer and the spoons and the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I had it, my children called it what they called it, a Disney Palace at one point. That's how cute I had it. I didn't even get the whole place together, but they loved it. They loved certain settings in the home, and I was able to, try to work through it. Now, I will be honest, I grew up in a cluttered environment, in a very filthy environment, okay? I grew up in Philly. Once again, I don't mind airing out my dirty laundry, okay? So there's a part of my brain that I have to turn off when it comes to, or turn on, I don't know how to put it. But basically, when it comes to cleansing, I'm one that loves to clean. I love to clean, however, I'm a procrastinator, and I am one that will allow things to get messy. I will allow things to get messy until I just can't take it anymore, okay? And one thing I have learned about myself is that clutter builds up super quick in my home. And so my home can get so messy. I'm talking my hoarder's messy, okay? And me, the one thing I love about myself is that I can't stay that way. I don't care how messy I allow it to be. I cannot let it stay that way. But I'll admit it. I'll admit it. That part of my brain completely, I've really had to do surgery on that part of myself, if that makes sense, right? Really dig deep, and go deep to the traumas of it and what in the world was going on back then and that. Really go back and really tackle, once again, we're going to talk about that impulse again. How do I get things done? Ooh, my head is itching all of a sudden. And I just washed my hair, but anyways, how do I tackle those things when I'm fighting against what? My weaknesses, which are procrastination and perfection, right? Mind you, I love to clean. However, one thing I do not do well with is, I guess you say well, I can't even say that because I surprise myself at times. I think I do pretty good at organizing. I think it's procrastination and perfection for me. It really is. Because it's like, oh, I can't clean this area unless I go to the store and go get some more organizing materials and go get this. And I got to save up for that. And I got to do that. And remember I told you that's my brain. I don't know. So I get on my own nerves. This is a little segment for myself. I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that. That could have been a different video. Anyways. So yes, my home tends to be messy. It does. And while she was threatening me like I couldn't fix it. You know what I mean? I'm like, girl, you trying to kick me out for what? It ain't that deep, okay? So I show her pictures and everything. She loved the crap out of my home, okay? Took all types of pictures. Every room was, pristine, because Shani can do that, right? It's just a matter of understanding that you're catching me. She would like to show up at times no one asked her to show up, okay? And so you're going to see what you're going to see because I'm just that real, okay? If my home's messy, sweetheart, you're going to see it. You're going to see the mess, okay? I'm not going to do a quick cleanup, okay? You might see me picking up a couple things, but I'm not going to do that quick cleanup if you're showing up when I didn't ask you to, okay? You feel like you have authority to show up whenever you like, then you show up whenever you like and see what you see. And maybe a lot of people may not agree with me, okay? Once again, I didn't grow up in a household where I was taught how to clean, where I was taught how to organize, where I had to really wing it, okay? And I still don't give myself excuses. I still don't, right? I still get in that mirror and tell myself, get your behind up and get it done. And so me and Impulse, we're friends, okay? Because that's just how we got to do it. Shani got to get up in there and get it done real quick. So anyways, this is what she was trying to use against me. And I'm like, sweetheart, it ain't going to bother me. I got it together. Show her the pictures. I'm like, it just ain't that deep. It's not that deep. You're trying to kick me out for what? So I gave her thorough understanding of exactly what we could do here. Since you want to try to nitpick the little things when you clearly have someone to help you clean up. I heard your husband tell me you don't even clean up at home for real. Okay, he has to do it all. And then you make it seem like it's him. Girl, I got a little something on you. That's all I'm saying, okay? If I want to go petty, I could go petty. But I wasn't on that tip. I wasn't trying to be petty. My timer. I wasn't trying to be petty. You know what I mean? So I'm like, but I did want to thoroughly help her to understand, sweetheart, you delayed me. You disrespected me. Okay? So if you want to take this to court, we can do this. That's okay. Okay? No problem. So she backed down from that. As she should. Because the way she left my apartment was nasty. You got the nerve to be telling me that my place, the way I kept it, wasn't all of that. It really wasn't. But you know, she's the type, I saw your car, sweetheart. You know those people that don't clean their car, but they act like they're the cleanest thing on the outside? I'm just saying. There was some things, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, look like we came from the same place if you ask me. But, you know, that's me being on the petty side, if I want to be. You know what I mean? The little Pisces in me, she could pull her, you know, that side of her out at times. So, yeah, I'm just being me all the way. And so, yeah, I gave her thorough understanding. She backed down a little bit, but I think she was pissed. Then, like I said, the way I would set my place up, she and her husband would literally, mind you, their car is filthy. Okay, I have to be honest. Your car was filthy, excuse me. So their notebook was filthy, okay? Yes, filthy. And he was seated directly on top of my table setting, on top of my dishes, on my darn table. And I'm sitting here like, I know this Negro. So I used to talk to him like, hey, do you think you can not do that, please? It went and got worse, right? I had these little wax melt candle holders, plug-in candle majiggies, right? Because I'm not about to sit here trying to figure out what it's called. Is that right? This man, okay, and I'm calling him Negro, excuse me, and then he wasn't one of those. I think he's Hawaiian and she was Korean, something like that, right? Not the first Hawaiian and Korean that I've seen in my life together as a family, as you know, husband and wife, girlfriend and boyfriend kind of thing. Either way, and so, phew, I don't know what hue is, but phew. Anyways, yeah. So, what was I going to say? Oh man, I'm tired. I'm that tired. That's crazy. So yeah, okay, so the wax melts, right? I had a toaster. The four, whatever you call it, toaster, right? For a toaster. This man, being careless as usual, knocks. Oh, because I was complaining, right, about my outlets sparking. So I had almost 2 fires that week. You know, my blow dryer decides to spark, and I'm like, that's interesting. Then my microwave decided to spark, so I had to throw out 2 items that I'm not getting back. Y'all not giving me no money for it. So I'm like, damn, I done complained so many times about the circuit, about this, about that. Why is nothing being fixed? She comes in, they come in, they look at the outlets, they say, oh no, we not gonna fix this. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Did you just say, is it me? Is it me? You sure it's me? Don't you want to get a little skeptical if someone tells you that outlets that are clearly sparking whenever you use them are not to be touched, or they're not going to replace them because there's no issue? So I said, interesting. Now, I'm going to tell you why I thought it was interesting, okay? I'm going to have to do that in the next video. I'm going to tell you why I thought it was interesting. All right? Because now we got to keep unfolding the story, unraveling the story, right? There's more players in this game, clearly. So, I'm like, okay, whenever they came over, I was very respectful. Like I said, if you're being disrespectful to me, I'll thoroughly give you your understanding, but I don't have to raise my voice not one time to get it done. You know what I mean? I am going to tell you what you need to know, though. And so he ended up spilling my wax melts into my toaster and then telling me, oh, excuse me, I can clean it out. I think he said, I can clean it out. I said, no, sweetheart. That's not how this about to go. Y'all owe me. Okay? Y'all owe me, dearest. You're not allowed to come in my home and place your waxy notebook all over my clean dishes. Okay? Then harass me and tell me how clean my home should be. Okay? When clearly I have children within my home. When clearly y'all don't even clean your own space. When clearly you gave me this space in filth. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, loves. We're going to talk about it. Okay? And so I stood there and I spoke to him and I spoke to her. Y'all owe me. And I want my money. Or I'm going to need that toaster replaced. Long story short, she replaced it. But she must have done it with a grudge. Because this next part of the story, you'll understand. Yeah, it got nasty. Not only did I catch you up in your mess, right? Oh, you know what? Maybe that was what followed. See what that's what I'm talking about? Working from memory. Sometimes I mess up my timelines. So sometimes I'm like talking about one part. I know the event happened, but placing it in the time split, like the time slot within the timeline. I don't know why I do it, but sometimes my timelines are just jacked up. So please forgive me for that. It did all happen. It just happened probably not in the order. I can't remember now in the order that I spoke of. But that's one of the things that I went through with the landlord. So we are going to uncover more of why couldn't you fix my outlets? You know, the skepticism, the thought, what am I hearing around me? Something sounds weird. Something smells weird, right? We'll talk. Remember what I said. This is all about honoring our intuition. When you feel something, do not tell yourself, please do not tell yourself that you're tripping. All right? All right. I'm out for now. I'm coming up on that 30-minute mark. And I'll pick back up.